Hi everyone, I am Zeiss, and on this channel I turn you into an RPG master. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to smash the subscribe button and keep in touch. Now, the completely adequate and adept people at Blizzard Entertainment, Microsoft or whatever, have just published this thing here. We're gonna read through, and although we're all very excited about the release of PoE 2, I'm actually still gonna play this game probably, so I'm gonna read through real quick and find out, at least for myself and those who might wanna see this, what are we to expect in the next patch of Diablo 4. I mean Bugablo 4 actually, and also the PTR. And we can actually see here that it starts on December 3rd and ends on December 10th, which proves yet again how adequate Blizzard is, because come on, let's face it, PoE 2 is coming out on Friday, December 6th, and those of you who actually go to work, right, probably never ever probably gonna even touch this thing, right? Not to mention, like, those of you, for example, who play on console and don't have the game on PC, me included. I only have the base game on PC, so probably not gonna test any Spiritborn stuff. Without further ado, and with this short introduction in a way, I guess, into what's gonna happen in this video, let's move on. Right, so the first thing that we see here is the armory, which is something that many of you requested. I am pretty sure I've heard many people ask for this, and let's see, the way they put it is we can actually make various build presets. What bothers me with this thing is that those items which are required, they're just not gonna stick in the preset. They're still gonna take your star space, it seems, at least from what we understood before. Gives you the option to save, load and name your favorite builds. Armory loadout slots are character bound. Loadout slots per character are 5. So at a glance from your loadout, you'll be able to view the equipment, skills, selected paragon nodes and glyphs that make up your safe build. Changing between loadout slots in different paragon loadouts does not cost gold, which is kind of a good thing, because eventually it might cost like a few million if it's like a complete respec, right? Which I highly doubt someone will do. Start by selecting an empty slot to save your build to begin. Saving your loadout will capture the following: equipped items, paragon board and glyphs, skill selections and class mechanic, right? The armory can be accessed across each major city and sanctuary, so just in town, you can't do it on the go. Imagine like carrying this big bag of loot in some kind of backpack and just with the push of a button changing your build completely. That would totally suck, right? Okay, and endgame hubs such as the Citadel, Tree of Whispers, Training Grounds in Kilowatt. Okay, if an item saved in your armory loadout is no longer available, whether from selling, trading or salvaging, an icon will indicate this item is missing on the loadout preview, which is not a bad way of putting it. My only concern about this is, okay, why go so deep into this? Probably, me at least, as a hardcore player, I wouldn't like spend so much time on it. Like if I need a character for separate content, that's what I'm gonna do, another character, right? Like one for speed farming, one for bossing, so on and so forth. And imagine your hardcore character dies on one of those activities for whatever reason. That might be like lack of scroll of escape and disconnect, and then what happens, right? You lose the, well, not the items, but the build itself, and those loadouts are what? Time wasted to set them up, or I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Feel free to disagree, it's totally fine with me. New powers of witchcraft, which is gonna be the theme in season 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, actually 4, because the previous seasons we didn't get any seasonal themes, they just put a bunch of changes, right? So season 4, season 5, season 6 were not really actual seasons, right? At least I don't consider them to be. Anyway, right? There are 3 schools of Hauser sorcery to learn and master: Eldritch, Psyche, Growth and Decay. So it's gonna be in this kinda HUD thing here on the inventory, like the other seasonal powers were. My only concern about this is that they are either not gonna keep it in the game, like a game mechanic, content in the core game or in the expansion or whatever. They might wanna like transfer some of those things to items, and since they don't wanna make the game like too complex, they don't allow us to like craft those socketables or glyphs or whatever, like give us the opportunity to make them completely insane and probably even break them, modify them further, things like that. Those things seem to be too much for them, or at least that's what they show. They still have enough problems to solve anyway. For me at least, this game is still in the alpha state. It doesn't even have Diablo in the Diablo game, so that's a huge L from me. I don't know, still. Okay, so let's see. Eldritch powers, firebat servants, blah blah blah. Deadly swarm of firebats swarms enemies every 2 seconds, inflicting X total fire damage. Well, yeah, that's very helpful. We don't even know what kind of damage it's dealing. We need to test it. Well, I'm probably okay. Let's read them though. Every 250 resource spent, release an explosion dealing shadow damage. Shadow damage, not shadow damage over time. Each explosion triggered within 10 seconds. The last increases the size and damage by quite a lot, stacking up to 3 times. That's not much. Rank 10. Okay, let's see. Like, what is such a big spender, right? For example, Bone Spirit on the necromancer, but then it's shadow damage, so it cannot be scaled because bone is physical, and I don't really know why they keep doing that kind of stupid BS, but okay, I guess it might work for like different enemies which lack the shadow resistance or don't have as much, right? Wave of Woe, release a wave of woe when damaging an enemy with your skills. Wave of woe deals additional shadow damage. Yeah, more shadow damage. Looks like the typical Blizzard thing here that they're doing again, buffing underutilized things in the game for some reason, and then they make them too powerful that they eventually are like bugged or whatever and become the meta for a while. And this could be really felt right here, at least that's how I see it. Purging Touch, Eldritch effects, increase damage against head rotten. Okay. At rank 10, this damage bonus now extends to all monsters. Wow, at rank 10. So that might be a thing, but it doesn't say how much damage, so maybe it's like 2 different on each rank and they just didn't want to put the numbers, or better, they don't even know them yet. Shaken Soul, Eldritch effects apply vulnerable to enemies for X seconds. At rank 10, damage, psych and growth and decay effects will also apply vulnerable at half the duration. Okay. Hex of Flames, lucky hit. Oh boy. You have up to X chance to apply Hex of Flames. Hex of Flames deals additional fire damage each time you deal damage to the target. I mean, come on. Additional damage which is not the base damage you're dealing, like the damage type you're dealing. When did that even work in this game? To be honest, I have no idea. Like those resistances of monsters which are nowhere to be found, like to have an idea what kind of things work better against certain mob type. We just have to figure that out on our own, on like the highest tiers of difficulty, where you can just stand there and spam a skill to try to kill something, right? Then it might be actually felt, but other than that, I think it's a complete joke, this thing. Doom Orb, an ominous orb of pure eldritch energy. I guess it's teal, maybe, then we'll see. Circles you, damaging any enemy. It searches for fire damage. Okay, so we have fire and shadow here, which might be good with that demon kid thing, mercenary. Doom Orb may launch itself at distant enemies before returning at rank 5. Kills or damage to bosses. Empower the orb's damage by 5%. Outer 100% orbs explodes, dealing damage to nearby enemies before reforming 3 seconds later. Okay, kills or damage to bosses. How does this help? Like when you kill a boss, what are you gonna do with this damage? Okay, dealing damage to bosses, fine, but when you kill the boss, there's usually nothing else there to receive this damage, right? I don't know, it just doesn't look very adequate in my eyes. I'm not even sure if I wanna continue reading this entire thing, but anyway. Life link, automatically link your life force up to 3 targets, enemy targets. The damage you take is shared with the linked targets as a physical damage. Cannot life link to enemy players. Yeah, okay. Very helpful skill. At rank 15, for 10 seconds after using defensive macabre or subterfuge skill, any linked damage to be guaranteed critical strike, but you can't do it on PvP, so I don't know. Enemy players, Hex of Shattering. Okay, damage done by your witchcraft effects afflicts enemies with Hex of Shattering, causing them to do reduced damage. Okay, finally something for hardcore. I assume everyone is gonna use that. At rank 8, when any hex effect is applied to Head Rotten, all damage will be guaranteed critical strikes for 5 seconds. Okay. So, maybe not. Enemies near you have chance for their attacks to be interrupted. Oh, Aura of Misfortune. Well, that's finally something, maybe. Does not work on bosses. Well, looks like it's not. At rank 5, Aura of Misfortune increases your movement speed by 5% and slows enemies by 30%. And I guess that doesn't stack, because 5%, come on, that's like ass. Aura of Lament, when you first strike an enemy, I assume that they wanna do this now, because the game just doesn't have a paladin yet, right? And Aura of this, Aura of that, so it's just not just one of the Decrepify Aura, right? When you first strike an enemy, they're afflicted with the Aura of Lament that slows it, and other nearby enemies with 70%. For each enemy inside the Aura of Lament, you gain 1 primary resource each second. If the initial enemy dies, Aura of Lament is passed into another nearby enemy, retaining the duration. Probably gonna be a really good blood surge thing, right? Last 10 seconds, only one enemy may be affected at a time. May only occur 30 seconds? Really? for slow, like, I don't know how this is gonna combine with Decrepify. Probably gonna be really interesting. Like, this slows them down by 70%, and I don't know. Decrepify slows them by what? Can go more than 24/5, I think. Actually, it's about the DR, so it slows them by like 40 something. So would they completely stop, or what will happen? They're gonna get stunned, or like slowed to such an extent that they don't actually move or like start moving backwards in time. I mean, what does it do above 100% when it's combined with other slow effects, or is it like with diminishing returns or whatever the fuck? Eh? Vengeful Spirit, so every 19 seconds, like, what the fuck is this number? 19 seconds, a Vengeful Spirit servant appears for seconds while active. All damage taken is instead taken by the spirit. At rank 5, that's gonna be a thing, like rank 5, rank 10, rank 8. When the Vengeful Spirit life is fully depleted, it rushes towards up to 8 enemies, dealing 2k shadow damage. What bothers me though is those numbers, which are quite rounded up for some reason, right? Every X seconds. What is this? Twilight warding seconds. Game barrier. Okay, that's another hardcore thing. Barrier for 5 seconds, absorbing 100 damage, which is not much, but every how many seconds? At rank 12, Twilight warding reflects enemy projectiles while active, which is a really good hardcore thing, I think. Finally, did they actually start thinking about hardcore? I can't believe it. Growth and decay powers. Let's see. Summon a poison, fog servant, attacks, blah blah. And poison enemies for X damage over 3 seconds. On that, the fog explodes violently, dealing poison instantly. Poison, dealing X poison, no damage, just X poison. Instantly damage to. Come on, bro. Syntax. Calm down. Whew. Okay, let's move on to nearby enemies. This explosion will always critically strike, but it's poison. So we have this weird problem again, like the way to scale dots is critically striking again, like Shadow Blight, which is dot but it can critically strike or whatever the fuck. At rank 5, poison, frog, okay. The explosion critically strikes, but then it deals poison, but instantly damage. I mean, that's probably gonna be like those explosions who killed a lot of people while they didn't fix the resistances, right? Like the first 2 seasons or whatever. Okay. Feed upon the life force. I'm getting tired, bro. Again, the life force of nearby enemies. Whatever you use a skill with the cooldown, increasing your primary stat by 3% per monster for whatever seconds. Rank 9, so harvest does not lose duration so long as enemies are nearby. Like, come on, what lives that long in this game? I mean, for real, what lives long? Like, whatever build you're playing, probably everything just dies as soon as you see it. So what the F? Might be a thing on bosses, maybe like day 1, but after that, I don't know. Hex of Whispers. Dealing damage to an enemy affects them with Hex of Whispers that deals X shadow damage the next time damage is dealt. Afterwards, Hex of Whispers will jump to another enemy up to a maximum of 6 times. Hex of Whispers may only be applied once every 5 seconds. At rank 7, after bouncing onto 6 enemies, the Hex bounces back to you, gaining its Fortify. And removing all crowd control and negative stats effects. Well, that's yet another hardcore thing. Okay, so we have like 3 favorites for now, which are not damage related. Decay augmentation. Your witchcraft effects deal portion of the damage dealt over 5 seconds. The damage type is based on your class. Okay, and what does that mean? Like, which class deals what kind of damage? Like, How do we know this is helpful? Rank 10, when your damage over time effects exceed 85% of the target's total life, they immediately die. Punishment. Grow. After casting ultimate skill, your servants, minions, and companions are empowered with dark magics, growing larger in size and dealing X bonus damage. Lasts 15 seconds. Oh, minions are finally gonna be a thing in this game. Looks like. But what's the cooldown of this? Or after casting an ultimate skill, and we can basically spam it. So cooldown 15 seconds. Yeah, that's doable. Yeah, I guess. But this is kind of bothersome. Like at rank 11, your servants, minions, and companions gain 100% critical strike chance while enlarged. So that is like doubling the one that they have, or it grows to 100, because sometimes with these guys you never know, it might be the exactly not the thing that you expected, right? Because it's too much. Aura of Siphoning. Conjure an aura of decay that deals X poison damage to enemies every second. At rank 10, each time an aura of Siphoning deals damage, you are healed for 1% of your maximum life. Okay. This cycle, dealing any damage with your skills has a 15% chance to grow a flower from the ground. Okay. When an enemy is near the flower, deals poison damage, so that enemy over 5 seconds. If an ally is near the flower, heals for 6 maximum life. The flower withers away after use. Flower may grow once every 5 seconds per enemy. At rank 5, the damage to the healing affects all enemies or aliases near the flower. Lost powers. Oh, there's more. Breath of the Coven. Dealing damage, applying a crowd control effect of any of your witchcraft effects, increase your attack speed. Yay! One more good thing. How many can we use of those? Was it 5? What? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I assume. But are they like different, or we pick them and there's like one here which is do more pilgrimage? Well, okay, so I guess it's like 6. Anyway, where were we? Witchcraft effects are Eldritch, Psyche, and Growth and Decay. What? Like all of them at once. At rank 8, gain 40% lucky hit chance, while bonuses from Eldritch, Psychic, Growth, and Decay are active at once. Oh, so it's like once per. Did they actually do something good here? I don't know. They're trying to overcomplicate it here with this lost powers thing. I guess maybe depending on the combinations. Increase the potency of the hex effects. At rank 10, increase the critical strike chance by 10% against enemies afflicted by hex effects. So maybe those are like scaling things. I mean, to the point where on a different stage of the development of the character you might use this and then that, which essentially will do the same thing but in a different manner. I mean, the result will be the same. Aura. The size of your aura effects are increased. You can finally increase the aura effects. The size of your aura effects are increased. Did I read that right? The size of your aura effects are increased. Okay. At rank 10, increase the critical strike damage by 50% against enemies inside your aura effects. So I guess that's gonna be the very bloodthirst thing to do. When an enemy is affected by both hex and an aura effect, which is very witchy, right? Piranadu is summoned, pulling enemies towards it and dealing X physical damage over 12 seconds. May occur once every 20 seconds. Rank 5, Piranadu moves itself towards nearby enemies. What is it though? Hunt, hit, okay, that's another. So I guess those are the powerful foes which we will eventually meet, like for more than a few seconds, for more than a few milliseconds. Trio of Whispers will offer bounties, their unique boss variety. Okay. Unique boss variants of Headrotan to slay. Probably they're just gonna eat 2 bone spears and die. But wait, not bone spears, because they fucked that up real bad. The fugitive head has the plastic stolen head attached, which is extremely rare to find. If you manage to defeat them, the reclaimed head drops for you to return the blah 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 for code gems. Those are the new gems that we can put on jewelry, which are like armor resistances and something else, which probably everyone is gonna use because it just provides everything, so why not? More killing Headrotan will earn you Restless Rot. Returning the fugitive heads to the Trio of Whispers will grant you cool gems. Okay, that's gonna be the main goal, I guess, of the season, to get good ones. But as far as I remember, those were not tradable, so I don't know. So that's gonna be the new, what is this? Teal? Not teal, like some dark green Helltide thing. Helltide like thing. Okay, discover. Guide you towards headhunts. Give a general area where you might be able to flush out husk or head. Okay, and that's gonna be the Raven, where we can use it like Trio of Whispers. For root to be uprooted cocoon which holds a headless husk. Active in multiple spots across sanctuary at one time. There's area shift after the duration of time, similar to Helltide. Yeah, like I said. Return to your grim favors to the Raven found in the Headhunt subzones. There will be few ways to improve the chance you use a Headrotan possessed by fugitive head, increased by Tormentor by using Drought of Whispers, which we have no idea what that is, but they're the gems. Already showed them during the campfire and then on X. Seek out these micro dungeons as an additional way to hunt them. Headrotan with the bonus challenges and rewards. Perform dangerous rituals to turn Headrot into power. Okay. So essentially we're gonna get something like this, which is not so bad. That's a lot of armor, lots of resistances, like actually the armor is not so much, but I guess we can get it from other sources. For each of your auras, hexes, Eldritch powers, slotted gain movement speed. That's not bad at all. Okay. If you manage to slay a Headrotan possessed by fugitive heads, you'll be able to use this reclaimed head of the Trio of Whispers to earn occult gems. So I guess that also works. Oh, so depending on the head, we get different ones. Okay, let's see. Additional affixes strongly complement witchcraft powers and witchcraft attacks, so your skills and more. It's rumored occult gems had once even been used to cheat death, if you believe the legend. So I guess that's some kind of weird reference to the elixir of death evasion. Couldn't be something else. I highly doubt it's something else. You can craft powerful higher tiers of occult gems with the following, but will they give it back? Like the elixir of death evasion, or at least its effect? Each occult gem provides armor resist, that's 160 and 8% resist. Craft the following occult gems at whatever her name, Jelena, probably. Weak Pact, non-unique Eldritch power gain. Aha, so those are the lists. Okay. Okay. Psyche, which powers gain potency? What is potency like? Increase everything? Like damage or life or heal or whatever? Probably that's what it means. Your non-unique growth decay powers gain potency, more overpowered damage. Your skills deal more damage. Power slotted. When you have more power slotted, gain movement speed and critical strike chance. Oh, okay. I see. But corpse, weapon master, rat. So yeah, again they're boosting the underutilized things, of course, not anything else. Killing Wind, while we have the Eldritch power slotted, gain 25 movement speed, critical strike chance. Wait, that's the... Okay, never mind. Well, while we have 3 or more Eldritch Witch power slotted for every 5 seconds, the next core skill you cast gains Eldritch attack. No? Okay, yeah. Really good to combine. Raging Enigma, more damage. While you have an aura active, your ultimate skills gain each Grimoire attack to deal more damage. Okay. Well, you have 3 or more Psyche Witch powers slotted, your defensive, macabre, blah blah blah, cooldown. Interesting. More Psyche Witch powers slotted, gain 30 control duration and lucky hit chance. More barrier, gain more fortify and have 30 more thorns. Not bad. Poacher Talon, aura active, you deal damage over time faster. Finally they gave us something to do this, but I assume it's just not gonna stay in the game, but we'll see. Your summons deal more direct damage. Which power summon attack slotted you? If you would take fatal damage instead, prevent that damage, then gain a barrier equal to 100% of your maximum life and disable your witchcraft powers with the summon tag for 6 seconds. This can only occur once every 75 seconds. So I guess, yeah, we do have more hardcore things. I guess many people kept on dying because of the unbalanced content. A year and a half later, friend of the book. While you have 3 or more growth or decay power slotted, you gain 10% primary stats, maximum life are always unhindered. 10% maximum life and you're always unhindered, so that's like not unstoppable. Maybe they changed the term again. I've seen it a few times, seasons before, but I guess. Moonlight Ward, for each rank of your slotted unique witchcraft power, you gain 3 damage reduction and maximum resistance to all elements, which is Yet another good hardcore thing, I guess. The stone. For each of your auras and hexes an enemy is afflicted by, they take 4% increased damage from you. Okay. Hungering Void. While you have an aura active, pull nearby enemies toward you every 8 seconds. That's the problem. It's like too long every 8 seconds. We also get some new runes. Chuck, Igni and Nagu, or whatever. Evoke the Druid's Lightning Bolt, striking blah blah blah. Stores offered. What? Cast a non-basic skill to gain the stored offering. Stores offering. Up to 500 offerings. So maybe that will be good for overflows? Like, what does it do? It just stores the offering. So things can overflow, I guess, every time. When does it release it? It doesn't say. Cast a non-basic skill to gain the okay, so 75. Let's say you do like on the typical attack speed build, like 3 attacks per second. So what the fuck? So that's only on slow builds, I guess. I don't see myself using this. 100 offering, maintain at least 1 active summon for 5 seconds, gaining offering for each up to 6 summon. Probably they meant 6 per summon, up to 6 summons. Up to 6 summons, plural. New ritual runes, okay, those are the ones. New runes of evocation, okay. New legendary aspects and unique items. I think we already saw those. Let's move on to the ones that are interesting to me, at least. Memory unique pants. Blood Wave, additionally a bone skill. Okay, that Blood Wave is additionally a bone skill that spawns a bone prison at the end point and increases your blood skill damage by blah blah. It's a bone skill but increases your blood skill damage. Bone Spear is additionally a blood skill and will drain 10% maximum life each cast after hitting an enemy to consume a surrounding corpse and launch 1 new bone spear from it. Can you imagine what's gonna happen with Hewitt Flesh and this thing? Probably something terrible. That is something that I actually wanna see. Kesim Legacy unique pants, those are the Blood Wave pants. Blood Wave fortifies you, blah blah blah. Ultimate damage reduction while fortified. So that's not bad. Blood Wave cooldown, that's really good. Chance for Blood Wave to deal double damage, that's really good. What do we have here? Ranks of Tides of Blood, damage reduction while injured. Ooh, oh boy. So we're probably gonna get those barrier builds, but this one heals, like drain life. I guess it heals, so that's very useful. You get this damage reduction while injured, but this skill, blood skill, and now drain maximum life each cast. Okay, so it drains from your life. The necromancer is finally gonna have a low life build, like the sorcerer used to have, with the, what was it, Celic and damage reduction while injured. Oh boy. And maybe we can use it with Soulbrand and get additional damage reduction while we have barrier, and we have to make sure we perma barrier, so that might be a thing actually. Okay, let's see. But I don't know, because of how barrier works, it can easily die. Like barrier has to be generated in some like other means, not by just consuming potion, right? We'll have to play around with it. Okay, what is this? The power of the other pants. I mixed them a bit, but those are maybe finally some interesting things. Okay, each time an enemy is hit by a wave, they take increased damage from you. Blood waves up to a lot. This animal legendary aspect. While Soul Rift is active, you are unhindered and gain 1% increased movement speed per absorbed soul up to 30 or 60%, which lasts for 5 seconds after Soul Rift ends. Oh, so I guess the necromancer will finally be not so slow. We'll see about that. Bone Duster. Bone Spear is guaranteed to critically strike enemies within Bone Prison and deals increased damage to them. So that's actually how I play it. Bone Prison with Bone Spear. So maybe they finally want to make Bone Spear a thing again. I hope so. Maybe I could get back to playing Bone Spear. It used to be really good. We don't care about the rogue and the sorcerer and especially the bugborn. The Tree of Whispers grows on the phantom soul that around blah blah blah. Let's see, the vendors around the Tree of Whispers have been rearranged to make it more effective hub to visit. Hopefully they bring in some jewel maybe, or get things close together. Have been rearranged. Okay, several vendors have been added: alchemist, armory, purveyor of curiosities, and healer, but no jewel, guys. Features offered for testing. Account copy, PTR boost. That's kind of standard. How to provide and how to install the PTR. That's, I guess, well known, and that's the end of it. Okay, so I guess there are a few things I might want to test on the necromancer, those bone stuff, and I want to see the crushing blood waves, and hopefully I will be done in I don't know, maybe very fast. Honestly, that turned out to be longer than I thought, and I'm not very excited about this. There's just not this thrill like when the game released. Like, I don't know. And the way they release patches, like they fix one thing and break 50 other things. I'm sorry, but how I feel about this game, it's probably not gonna change in the next 10 years. By just knowing how Blizzard operates, right? We're not talking here about Blizzard North, which used to be the Blizzard that we all love, right? Anyway, I wish them all good. Hope they meet some necromancer to actually revive them, or at least talk to them properly, because that looks like that's not gonna be me. Trust is lost, respect is lost, and the way they're doing things shows how adept and adequate they are. And I don't know, there's like not much more to add here. Again, this is longer than I thought, so fuck it. Zeiss out, take care, and see you on the next one.